How do you maintain the same energy and excitement level as The Mummy had? Well, it's simple. When you're doing a sequel to The Mummy, which, by the way, is really, really fucking good, and you should absolutely buy this, and you should absolutely check it out on streaming, and make sure that you get this. The Mummy's fucking awesome. Yes, it's a remake of a classic from the 1930s, but this is really fucking good. So how do you improve upon it? Well, you make sure you bring back the original cast. Okay, that's a good start. You add more special effects and more money. Okay, that's good. Then you retread the same goddamn ground, change a few things around, like instead of a plane, we have an airship, and we have a waterfall chasing an airship. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo! And then also what you make sure to do is add more special effects and pygmies for some fucking reason. Retread the same ground as far as an adventure. Add a really, really fucking annoying kid so nobody can have a good goddamn time. Add more special effects, bring in Rock the Dwayne Johnson, and then have him say a couple lines. Have him show up at the end as a PS2 render. That's a fucking guarantee to have a really good goddamn sequel to The Mummy, isn't it? Isn't it? Yeah, I'm John Renton with the retro review of The Mummy Returns from 2001. This was greenlit just shortly after The Mummy opened at the box office to huge success. This movie also had huge success at the box office, worldwide box office. And then, a number of years later, they did The Mummy, Tomb of the Forbidden Kingdom, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I know it's the second one, but given the fact that the Forbidden Kingdom and that came out within about 6 months to a year of each other, I just couldn't fucking help it. Yes, Brendan Fraser returns. And Rachel Weisz, my fucking goodness, she's a fucking goddess. Oded fared pretty well here, huh? I'm trying here. John Hannah, Arnold, Don't Call Me Billy Zane Vosloo, and Patricia Velasquez, who returns as Anaxuna Moon. She was also in Crystal La Llorona. Yeah, they didn't use her all that well. And also Freddie Both, who was the kid, who I'm sure is a nice guy, and apparently loved the original Mummy, well, this original Mummy, so much that he actually memorized it and could tell people, hey, this is how we should continue this story. And yeah, he was a kid here. Adding a kid to a movie like this is dangerous. Mainly because it's hard to find really good kid actors. And while the kid wasn't necessarily the worst actor, the character was super fucking annoying to the point where I'm like, why am I rooting for anything other than the demise of this child? And also they decide to just retread the same goddamn thing. They add more gunfights, they add more action, they add more special effects, and more undead stuff. And hey, we do have Rock the Dwayne Johnson. Aku Machente is cooking. And then at one point, he basically, after his army is defeated, he's the only one left. And then he says up to the desert gods, Anubis, help me out, you jabroni. Then he raises the people's eyebrow that I can't fucking do. And then he is granted the powers of an undead army to take over. Just take over this frickin', place. Because why not? Why wouldn't you be able to take over this place? Also, there's an oasis because it's a champagne Egyptian nova in the sky. And then once that part of the deal is fulfilled, he is then completely devolved and taken into the underworld, where he will rest for all time unless somebody can resurrect him and the army of Anubis. And gee, I wonder where everybody else comes in. Oh yeah, you get that. That's it for The Rock. I think The Rock got paid like $1 million for this, and then got paid $5.5 million because they decided to do a spinoff with the Scorpion King that I'm also going to retro review at some point. Why? Why the fuck not? It's got Kelly Hu in it. How could I fucking not like a movie that has Kelly Hu in it? She looks the same now. And that movie came out 20 years ago, and she was in her mid-30s. Nevertheless, so this takes place 10 years after the first one. Yeah, it only came out 2 years after that. Basically, Stephen Sommers, writer-director of this, Deep Rising, and also later Van Helsing. That also wasn't very good. Did feature Kate Beckinsale and Hugh Jackman, and that was it. And a bunch of monsters. So, in this one, he didn't want to deal with babies. That's why he decided to advance it 10 years. So the kid was extra fucking annoying. So, basically, he is on an expedition with his parents. And Rachel Weisz, Evelyn, Evie, she is having visions, suddenly, that she is connected to the past, the ancient Egyptian past. It turns out, actually, that she was the daughter, or descendant from the daughter of the Pharaoh. They got killed in the first one. Oh, Pharaoh, where we lay our scene, our sandy scene, as it were. And then she's also a badass that knows how to use weapons and fight and everything because she's connected to her past and also lazy screenwriting. And then because the kid, Alex, decides to be super annoying and hurl rocks from a slingshot at the heads and butts of a few people that are trying to invade this tomb that was already invaded by Rick, Brendan Fraser's character, and Evelyn. He gets caught in a whole thing where they find the bracelet for the Scorpion King. Rick and Evelyn do. And then they get flooded out because she says, he who desecrates the bracelet shall drink from the Nile. That doesn't sound so bad. It means a flood, you bitch. And then they get flooded out. And then they end up back home at some point after we see a bunch of scarabs that just, invade and attack people. Because why the fuck wouldn't scarabs invade people? And why are they invading and attacking people? Because we have this woman that's not Anck-su-namun, but she's her descendant, Mila, because lazy screenwriting. And another guy that is basically just your standard everyday British villain that reads from the book. And then you got this big, bulky, African-American guy that looks like he could lift a goddamn planet. And he really wasn't given much more to do than snarl and yell at the kid, unfortunately. And Anck-su-namun, not Sunamun, there we go, let's just go with that. She grabs the Book of Dead, the Book of Life, ole, ole, ole. Ricky Martin, why did you do what you allegedly did? And then scarabs invade from this little sandy fountain. And then he decided to bring flamethrowers along this time because we're 1933, so they had flamethrowers. And they just torch all the scarabs. Man, those poor scarabs. And then there's Cher. There's the oasis that everybody is going to go to because it'll open up their eyes. It would be hard to resist Rachel Weisz is what I wrote down. It would be very hard to resist her. She's fucking gorgeous. So, with there no explanation about how Anck-su-namun was actually resurrected. But it's her reborn. Doesn't make sense. She was cast to the underworld. Lazy screenwriting. So, the adventure begins after the house gets invaded by a bunch of guards and everything. And now they are on their way to figure out what the hell's going on with this mystery and rewrite history. DuckTales, woohoo. Oh, and Alex has a bracelet on him. And if he doesn't get to the pyramid, this one lone pyramid, because Egypt only has one of those, then he's going to die in 7 days. Oh, no. God, we wouldn't have to hear that annoying kid, so what the fuck would that matter? So, Evelyn learned how to fight and kept fighting. Then she got captured. And then Alex keeps being annoying, but also he has a bracelet. Hey, we have to go to find the Scorpion King. Also, Rick has a tattoo just on his here, something. And it turns out that he is a guardian of man. He is a descendant of the Magai, however the hell it is. Whatever the name of the actual people that Oded Fair is, part of. I don't really remember. That name isn't necessarily important for the purposes of this equation. And then random mummies rise up and everything. Imhotep rises up because, of course, he's resurrected easily. And Evelyn's nearly cast into the fire, but then they get her out. We get more gunfights and more people getting shot, and more special effects, and more scarabs, and more explosions, and more melting of shit, and more mummies. And then a double-decker bus chase. Because, of course, I hate mummies. It's like, just like old times, huh? There is still some energy to this, but you could tell the actors are mostly going through the motions. I'm not even knocking the people. I think they were having fun. The movie felt soulless. The bus chase scene was just not good. It just wasn't good. And then, of course, they need to go get on a magic carpet ride. On a magic carpet ride. Can't even do that song correct. And Imhotep he needs Anubis' army, basically, to become invincible. Somehow. Why not? And then if he kills the Scorpion King with a special spear that clearly isn't a little staff that everybody keeps gripping because it's really valuable. Who wouldn't love gripping a valuable staff? I did note at one point, can Patricia berate me like that? Anyway, this chest is cursed. What is it with you and curses? He's his curse, that's his curse. Give it a rest, will ya? Again, it just isn't. It's trying to hit the same notes as the first one, and it's failing miserably. So, basically, he eats these people and resurrects himself. And then Rick finds an old friend of his, Izzy, that has an airship, and they get on airship. How'd they hide the goddamn airship this whole time? Alex tries at one point to escape through a toilet, but this is only after pulling on the handy brake that somehow happens to be in the toilet. Here's a question. If you need to hold on to something to lift yourself off the toilet, and you accidentally pull on the brake chain, it's kind of fucking stupid to place it there, but plot convenience. He races into a particular pyramid, or some ruins, and he gets captured. Evelyn sees more visions, almost falls out of the spaceship, the airship, I mean. The spaceship actually would have been funnier. And then it turns out her and Anoxuna Moon knew each other. What? God, they're just convenient plot devices all goddamn around. And then she guarded the bracelet, and Anoxuna Moon guarded the priest, while also banging Arnold Vosloo, because why the fuck not? And Alex left clues for how they would be able to get there, because the bracelet has visions of, like, you know, of sugar plums dancing in the Egyptians' heads. Actually, no, it's visions of where they're supposed to go. And he kept doing little stuff that somehow nobody noticed, and he kept coming up with ways for them to find, to get on this path, because the parents were lagging behind. Oded Fair had a falcon that eventually got shot down. Adorable falcon, as it were. And a falcon did not blow a 28-3 lead, because in 1993, those kind of leads weren't blown. Well, NFL fans are going to be pissed off about that. Not the CGI tidal wave with the goofy face, like the sand storm. Deep hurting. And then there's the oasis. It's just over the goddamn ridge. Not Ridge Holland. The ship's down and they are stranded because the weather started getting rough. And then they go into the jungle where there's some fun and games and some pygmies all around, and this is how they know the name. How does that make sense? I don't know. The pygmies blow darts at them. And then the pygmy clan, well, they just decide to just launch darts and kill people and come through grass and pull people down Bugs Bunny style. It's hilarious. And then some people get picked off in CGI fashion, really, really stupid CGI fashion. More people get shot, more people do stupid shit. Alex ends up back with his parents. But oh shit, we have to get to the pyramid, and we have literally until sunrise, and the sun's rising right now. Let's run there! And they manage to get safe, but then Evelyn gets stabbed. So then, after we get 3 separate fights going on, because of course we do, Anubis' army gets raised during this time. So Oded Fair and all the people that he's been keeping in contact with this mysterious falcon that got shot down, yet somehow always managed to get back to them really, really quickly. Always get the messages there and always get back to Oded Fair very quickly. They are fighting Anubis' warriors. And then it looks like they're really going to get killed. While John Hannah's character is trying to fight Anoxuna Moon. But then Alex reads from the book to resurrect his mother. And then his mother fights Anoxuna Moon. There's a bunch of PS2 dead bodies trying to pull people down into hell. Because when you have the mouth of hell in your particular pyramid, maybe stay the fuck away from there. Maybe build over that. I don't know. Put some concrete down. Put a tarp? Did they have tarps in 1933? And then the PS2 rendering of Rock the Dwayne Johnson. $150 million for this movie. $150 million. Do a few less pygmies and put a little bit more money into Rock the Dwayne Johnson so it doesn't look like you should be controlling him with a goddamn shot controller. Not shot caller, brawler, and in the bins with the spoiler. So anyway, everybody just basically keeps fighting. And they fight over the spear, and Imhotep almost throws it into the Scorpion King. Rick gets him, stabs him, so he kills him. So then Anubis' army is flattened just before they're marching over the hill and coming down from above. And if you close your eyes, yeah, I didn't think you'd get a Bastille reference here, did you? Then what ends up happening is the Scorpion King's dead. Imhotep gets abandoned by Anoxuna Moon after helping resurrect her and just lets himself be pulled into the underworld. And then Anoxuna Moon gets killed. The oasis gets swallowed up. There's this giant diamond on the pyramid that John Hannah's character, Jonathan, manages to get as the airship comes back down because Setzer, Sid. No, it's not Final Fantasy 3 or 6 and 7. No, it is Izzy, I-Z-Z-I, getting the goddamn airship up, and then they're all fine, everybody's fine, and then we go to the third one that was apparently supposed to happen a couple of years after this, but it got put on ice. And then Maria Bello was Rachel Weisz's character instead, and that was a downgrade, all due respect to Maria Bello. So yeah, look for a retro review of The Mummy Tomb of the Forbidden Kingdom at some point. But yeah, this one wasn't very good. In fact, not very good is putting it mildly. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.